You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Call of Cthulu from Cyanide Studios. You know, the guys who make all the Blood Bowl games and all of those confrontation games, you know, of Orcs and Men, Styx the Assassin, Styx the other one, I can't remember. Yeah, so anyway, I was a bit miffed that I sat through the load screen last time, and, you know, at the end, when it had finished, I pressed my hotkey to stop recording, and that closed the load screen and went straight into a cutscene, which, you know, annoyed me slightly, because the way this game autosaves, and you can't go back to a previous save, it meant that I completely lost the opportunity to record it. So I've gone back and played through the entire game up to this point. I'll go through that cutscene and then switch back to my original save. This playthrough, I did my best to use the previous videos to copy step by step almost exactly what I'd done. I passed a skill check on the painting at the beginning, but I didn't utilise the results of that skill check to gain any extra knowledge. And I actually failed to pick the lock on that shack on the docks this time. But apart from that, I've done everything I did, possibly a little bit less walking back and forth, but all the steps I took have been repeated exactly the same. Apart from buttering up the officer a little bit just now, before I started recording. Because, hey, I can do that. Just check that all is going well. Yep. Good, good. Come on, you. Game. Right, let's do it this way. Joy of technology. So, yeah, while I wait. Fun. There we go. Hooray! So interestingly enough, now that I have multiple saves, I even went and started a third one to check at character creation. It was possible to raise occult knowledge to about 30 or 40, but I wasn't able to pass any checks of it, so that's fine. But now that I have multiple saves, the main menu isn't the original picture anymore, but it's like the camera moving through an empty asylum corridor, as if these multiple alternate versions of reality are just fracturing our mind. So, here we go. Fair play for the actors. Part of me wonders if that's the car that was blocking the alleyway in the port.
Well, here we are, Hawkins mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
And there we have it. It wasn't necessarily much of a cutscene, but I thought it was important to the structure of the story. Now, let's go the way I went before, which was, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... yeah, like that.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like his son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You know, I know this village is basically Innsmouth, but if there's anyone in there who looks like a fishman, he's a good candidate. But yeah, so apparently you said the mansion burned down. So I have this theory, right, that the mansion didn't burn down so much as someone was badly burnt by acid or something, like a monster with acidic skin or a kind of ooze cloud of stuff around it that would burn people. You know, that kind of thing.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Yeah, you know this place fairly well, right? You've been up here a few times?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Well, that's one way of looking at it. Yeah, anything I should be on the lookout for? Anything I should be wary about?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
So in other words, he's unhinged and fairly sturdy physically, so he could be quite dangerous. Oh yeah, about the woman with the knife. So picking up the clues that she has a knife, I wonder if those will actually be important later on. If there's like a scene where she ambushes me and pulls a knife out, it could be reliant on me knowing she's got a knife and therefore reacting quicker, or being caught completely off guard and, you know, killed or something, you know. So I don't know how much the small clues are tying into things or not. It could be that they're just little bits of information being thrown my way, but it would be nice if they actually affected the overall outcome of things as well, you know.
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
No, I'm good. I think I'll swap over to the other save now.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
I agreed on the other save, so sure.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
And there we have a save. So, because of the way this game saves, so here we have the nice main menu picture that we've seen many times before. However, going back to the main menu, absolutely, we get this interesting new... Here we are. See, this is new. This, I don't believe this was here when I just had the one save, but I could be mistaken. Now there are multiple saves, we have this eerie view of things. So let's go back to the original save slot and begin to, well, resume our investigation. I've no idea how... So, yeah, but... I've no idea how this is going to go. Because of the way the game saves, I'm going to need to be very careful about when I stop and start episodes. So basically, while load screens would be the perfect opportunity to stop and start episodes, narratively speaking, well, I don't get to go this way, okay. They are terrible, technically. So I'm going to have to be looking for any autosaves. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah. I'm just looking to see... Okay, so no more skill points to spend. That's okay. I'll check these in a moment. Oh, sorry, I'll do it now. Officer Bradley, age 37, occupation, police officer. This hick cop likes order and justice. He's no great sleuth, but he seems more inclined than his colleagues to discover the truth in the Hawkins case. The inhabitants of the island seem to be friendly with him. He could help me in my investigation. Indeed. Places... The gardens of the Hawkins Mansion. The Hawkins Mansion is perched at the top of a steep cliff. The abandoned garden harbours the graves of the Hawkins family and only the old caretaker, Silas Winchester, still roams... Oh, sorry. And only the old caretaker, Silas Winchester, still roams this bleak spot. He protects it fiercely and still puts flowers on the graves of his old masters. It's a gloomy place. Indeed it is. Inventory, what have we picked up that's new? Okay. I have looked at all of these already. Isn't it annoying that they always appear slightly out of focus? Well, not this time. Okay. So I'll be on the lookout for skill points. Anything that could boost the occultism skill or the medicine skill. And so basically I'm going to have to pay a lot more attention to when the autosaves happen, because they will be good starting and stopping points for episodes. Now, I'll stay close to the policeman so that the old gardener can be reassured if we encounter him. This reminds me of Beneath Nightmare Keep, the gardens just outside there. Yeah. Any of you familiar with Fighting Fantasy, the late 50s something? Yeah, the late 50s of the series. Okay, man, you just stopped. I presume you'd like me to step forwards and look at all this. This is... Oh, hello. Charles Hawkins. Can I even...
Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Yeah, someone's interfered with this.
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
He would if it was Charles's wife who had survived the fire and was living in the warehouse, or if it was Charles himself and it was a fake grave and he was angry and furious. See? Now, it's a strange place to be buried.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Well, thank you for showing me these graves.
Let's go to the mansion.
What, we don't get to...
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary?
Well, you do that while I look at these.
Poor kid.
Silas doing such a thing.
Poor kid.
Alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh.
Yeah. So again, it's obvious that whoever was in the warehouse was badly hurt was probably a member of the family. Oh, invisible wall? Serious invisible wall. Like, I could walk that little distance there, you know? Now, you child.
Poor kid.
Nothing else, okay. Is there anything here behind these gravestones?
Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
Okay, that one pauses and skips. The others I'm allowed to break away from. Okay. Go away, annoying Windows 10 evil nonsense, but you guys at Microsoft never fixed when you created this problem. Right, officer, can we move now, please? Hello? Your face is really in shadow here. We're supposed to be still moving? I know you wanted a moment. Is there something... Am I supposed to walk away and get a jump scare from the gardener, then you come along and say, hey, it's okay? Because, I mean, really, officer, we could just move, you know? You're completely uncommunicative. Is there anything? Probably not. Maybe I need to improve a skill. Spot hidden at 40% could be better. Yeah, I'll probably be putting a point in there next time I get one. Say go 45 spot hidden, 55 investigation, 50 spot hidden, and then maybe, you know, eloquence and psychology as well. Right. Man, he's just not going anywhere. This loss has clearly touched him rather personally. Hey man, could I maybe, like, you know... Wow. You give me a really nasty look there. Okay, look, I'm just gonna... step away momentarily. Taking it easy. Maybe there are some clues I can find here without getting a nasty, horrible shock. Hillrop. There's no way that's supposed to be a T. Let's pretend it is. Hilltop house built in 1693 by Reverend John Wickwood. Okay. Man, he's just not going anywhere, is he?
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent.
Well, maybe it's been rebuilt numerous times. Do not like the sound of that wind. Man, these are practically walls. Walled corridors. But with the ability to see through the walls. Officer, you were supposed to be coming with me. I know you wanted a while, but you've been rather... I shouldn't be so disrespectful. I should respect his desire to stand here and ignore me. And continue my investigation. With a good eye on the time, as well. So, okay. I don't want to be missing anything. But of course I don't know what I should be looking for. A pile of rocks on the ground there from that angle looked like a man lying down. A large, misshapen, rocky man. That is. This is certainly a rather ominous place. Is there anything here? There's that blasted lighthouse again. Wherever you go, you can't escape the lighthouse. It's visible from everywhere. But I don't even get to interact with the chair. There's no vital chair-related clues. I mean, look. There should be a chair here, and it's been hurled away. A figurine of a whale carved from wood. It's the sort of toy that sailors made for their children. I can only rotate left and right. I can't go up and down. So I can't see if anyone has carved their initials on the bottom of it. In the most obvious place it would be like to be carved. Now, this obviously relates to the great whale catch, but yes, a small wooden whale. And this chair has been moved. So if the child sat here, and the mother and father here, why is there a fourth chair? The servant, perhaps? I'm not sure quite yet how this represents a vital clue. A child's toy. Thing is, it shouldn't just be left out here, chucked on the floor, you know. You'd think I mean, unless they're particularly forgetful, absent-minded people, and what is going on with this tree? It's as if it has an eyeball or something. Is it supposed to be a section of bark gouged off with something dark beneath the outer layer of wood? Yeah, what if the trees are made of people? They're soylent green trees are not normal trees. Right. Officer Bradley. Is he still there? He's clearly very touched by this tragedy and wishes me to go on alone and get jumped out at by someone who's going to go boo. Which is unfortunate, as I'm probably going to have to end the episode soon. I mean, I'm hoping he'll come to his senses and catch up with me at some point. However, look at this. Game saved. Well, well, well. A dark-winged bird, a crow, or perhaps a raven perches on the balcony. But with that, I'm going to end the episode. I know, it's probably not what some of you guys were expecting. I took the night off on New Year's Eve. And first video of 2019 is a Call of Cthulu one. So yeah, because of the save system, I'm probably going to have to like blitz through this and record, batch record a few episodes in advance, and they probably won't get watched at all, just like previously. But hey, if you do watch them, hope you enjoy them. Have fun, guys, and see you all next time. Bye bye for now.